Finally, you have a lady right where you want her. You've put in a lot of effort and hard work to get her to date you. Now, the dates have been romantic, fun, and it really looks like she's super into you. But then all of a sudden, she starts to test you, putting you in strange situations and asking you pointed questions. It's kind of like you're back at school again, sitting a biology test. Now, this is not something that always happens, but sometimes the ladies do test men that they are dating or even in a relationship with. And today's video, we're going to look at how and why women test men so that you can understand the reasoning behind this crazy mind game. Like and subscribe, let's go. How women test men. There are 9 main ways that women test men, from verbal challenges to the more difficult detailing tests. It's not easy to be on the receiving end of these tests. And just like you would study for a test at school, it is time to get your pen and paper ready for some hardcore cramming. The verbal challenge. This one would probably be a little bit easier if I said it's kind of like teasing. It's when a girl says something negative about you or lightly puts you down in a fun or light-hearted way. She might start testing you like this after the first date. Now, it's something that the ladies normally do early on in the relationship to see what kind of sense of humour you have. She will most likely say, "Is that the best you can do?" or "You're not my normal type." Now these words cut pretty deep at times, but she doesn't mean them in a cruel way. She is simply just studying your response to see what you do. So what should you do? Well, you should stay pretty cool and laugh along with her. You could even say something back like, "Well, it's better than you could ever do," so that she knows you are not a pushover. Don't say anything mean or hurtful back though. The jealousy test. This one sounds pretty scary. Women do not like the gentlemen that control them or get jealous too easily. Sure, they want you to be protective over them, but they don't want you to tell them who to see. Which is why early on in a relationship, they will perform what is called the jealousy test. And this is when a girl will flirt with a guy in front of you, ouch, so that she can see your reaction, or she might mention one of her guy friends to you just to see how you respond. If she flirts with a guy in front of you, she is really testing you. She doesn't want you to not react at all. After all, she wants to know that you like her enough to want to fight and protect her. She also does not want you to start acting jealous either. I get it, it's a confusing, careful balance. But how do you pass this test? Well, you should smile when they are talking, laugh a little, join in on the conversation. And when the guy finally leaves, you could say to her, "He was nice, how'd you know him?" And she could say that she knows him through a friend or that she doesn't really know him at all. Then you could make a joke. You could say something such as, "Were you trying to make me jealous?" Because it actually worked. Now, this isn't you being controlling or jealous. It's you joking about being jealous and flirting a little with her. And she will be super impressed with how you handled that test. You'll come out as the top dog. If she mentions a guy friend and says that she's hanging out with him, then you should reply by asking her what you guys will be getting up to. And you should say, "You know what, that sounds pretty cool, go ahead." The favours test. Do you think you could help me move house? Or I need a hand putting together a bookshelf? Do you have the time? I would love a coffee right now. Can you please get me one? These sound pretty simple. They're all favours that women can throw at you as a test. Now, they are testing you so they can see how committed you are to them. If you were to say no, then they would figure that you are not really that interested in them and that you don't really want to help them out in any way. In their minds, at least they know this now. And if you say yes, though, they will really understand how you feel about them. I mean, we can only do favours for people that we really care about, right? The hard to get test. Is she never unavailable for dates and acts like she's not interested in you? This could be her playing the hard to get test. This test might make you think that she doesn't like you and you might be ready to give up hope and move on. You should hold out for a little longer though. If you think she might be playing hard to get, then you just need to communicate with her. You tell her that you really like her and you would love to go on a date with her. Now, she will be impressed that you have not just walked away and you have agreed to a date. And after that, you may notice that she seems a lot more interested in you and even texts you first sometimes. And that means, or simply, you pass the test. The asking about your past. Women get really suspicious when guys avoid talking about past situations. They think that they must be hiding something or that perhaps they still have feelings for a past girlfriend. It is normally a make or break test for ladies who are often open books about their past. She will probably start by asking some random questions like where you went to primary school, and then, without a doubt, she will end up asking about your past girlfriends. She doesn't really want to hear about your past girlfriends, she just wants to know that you will talk about them and that you are not hiding anything, specifically your feelings for her. If you simply hate talking about the past, you can explain this to her, but she still might not be convinced. Now, the easy way to pass this test is to just trust her and open up. The friends test. If you have reached the point where a girl is introducing you to her friends and family, it means she is very, very serious about you. She really likes you and sees a future with you. However, she needs to see how you will behave in front of the people who mean the world to her. Now, the first test is simply her asking if you want to meet them, and simply you say yes. Now, the second test is her asking you if you are nervous before you meet them. If you say no to this, she will think that you don't really care about her at all. So you should tell her that you are a little nervous but excited to meet them. And the third test is acting in the right way around the family or the friends. She wants you to be friendly and very respectful in the way that you act, and obviously she wants them to like you. So make sure to ask them questions about themselves so you can really gel together and listen to what they have to say and act interested. And the fourth test is what they think of you. The scary test. They will tell your girl what they think of you. If they like you, well, it's full steam ahead. If they don't like you, though, it doesn't necessarily mean the relationship is over. It just means you will need to work a little harder to get into their good books. The details test. Women naturally pay attention to the teeny tiny things. They will remember things you told them on the first date. They will remember birthdays and anniversaries. And men are more likely, not all guys, but some, are likely to forget these things. Even though women know this, they will still test you on it. You could be out shopping and they will say something like, when is my birthday? And it might take you by surprise, but they expect you to know the answer. They want to know if you are paying attention to them when they are speaking to you. We are all more likely to remember important dates about the people we love, so she is basically checking in on your feelings. So, to pass this test, you need to be paying attention to everything she says. The flake test. This is not a common test that women do, as it can go badly wrong. But it is something some women do, so it's actually worth mentioning. Let's say you have arranged a date and 30 minutes beforehand she messages you and says, "I'm so sorry, I can't make it, something has come up." Or even worse, she doesn't show up. It can be really hurtful and disappointing. You might even question if you want to be with her anymore, and she is of course testing your reaction. So if you message her and say, that's it, I'm done, then she is going to question whether you really liked her at all throughout the start of the relationship. But if you say, you know what, it's okay, and ask why she missed the date, and act sincere, she will think, wow, he has stuck around. And from that point forward, we will put more effort into the relationship. So a word of warning here, though, is that if she continues to be flaky, then believe me, she just is not that into you, and it is time to move on. The potential test. This is probably the most popular test that guys have no idea exists. Ladies want a gentleman that is going to look after them and take care of them. This doesn't necessarily mean they want a guy with heaps of money and a fast car. They just want someone that will give them the best life possible. This normally means that they want a guy with a great personality that has similar values and morals to them. And if you want to pass this test, just be yourself. She will see for herself if you have potential in her eyes, and if you don't, move on. You will both find someone you are much more suited to. So why do women test men? Quite simply, women test men because they want to see if they will stick around. They may have been hurt by guys in the past, and this is their way of protecting themselves so that it does not happen again. If you think I missed something from today's video, let me know down in the comments. Give me a huge thumbs up and consider subscribing to make my day. But if you want to get your name rolling up next to my face like these amazing people's names here, then all you have to do is click the link in the description bar below to find out a little bit more. Have an amazing day. See you soon.